Well, it's been a while. Welcome back to part 4 of this series that was put on hiatus a while back. Sorry, I really haven't uploaded a video. Stuff, a lot of life stuff I don't want to talk about on today's video, or in any particular matter. As you can see, this character is a lot different. That is because the original character I deleted by accident because I was an idiot. So I actually had to start over and get up to this point. So I might have missed a couple of things that we did in part 1 through 3. So right now, you're going to be, I don't know, leaving off where I was on part 3. And today we're going to be tackling Sinner's Rise. Which should be an interesting thing to do. Content for this channel is sort of on the fence. I don't know what else I want to do with this channel, but I want to do this Dark Souls 2 Let's Play, and I want to actually finish it. So right now, I'm going to be bulk recording part 4, 5, and 6. Probably, oh no, I might not actually. I might, as soon as I'm done with part 4 right now, then I might just upload it and be like, hey, you know, here's part 4. But, I'm sorry I kind of left, for a while. I don't know. I wasn't feeling a YouTube uploading mood, and I guess I'm back, uploading Dark Souls. So, I think it should be interesting. So, this character's pretty much the same. I tried to get the same face that the original dude had, but it might have not yielded the best results. I'm hoping it did, though. And I ditched the pyromancy shtick, I think. And I'm just gonna do full strength for this one. And I know that sounds lame, but this is my playthrough, and I want to do, I guess, strength. Oh jeez. Oh man, these guys do curse. I actually forgot about that. Okay, easy as pie. Yeah, but nothing really interesting has happened in life recently. Nothing really interesting at all. I don't know. Hope I'm not sounding too quiet, but if I am, I'm sorry. But I hope today we can actually tackle the Lost Sinner. Maybe do more in this episode when we go to Huntsman's copse or whatever. If we do that, that's pretty awesome, because I'm returning. And really, anything else is I don't know, sort of up for debate on what I actually decided to record. I do not have another fragrant branch, so this is all for nothing. Also, I may have used a couple bottles. I don't remember my Let's Play that much. But I did watch part 3 to see where the, the return from, and this is where I had the return from, so should be pretty interesting. This episode might be a bit shorter than the other ones. Most of the other ones were like almost 50 minutes long. I'm hoping this one is about around that length because, you know, I don't know. Well, if it's shorter, I guess it's easier to upload and stuff. I mean, how I do it is I actually upload it privately via my PS4. Well, when I edit it. And then, once it's done uploading, I go on my computer, download the video, and then I re-upload it with the thumbnail. It sounds a bit intuitive, but that's how I do it. Some would say you can simply, I don't know, use a USB. I don't have a USB, so I can't do it. And in today's episode, Like, I think episode 2 I tried to actually summon and it failed. Today we're going to be doing that. Let me actually do something before this dude gets in my way. Okay, we're back. I'm in a private party this time. I made a private party for the reason I don't want people to hear me. And some would say just simply disable voice chat so people can hear you. I mean, I guess, but that's kind of lame and shit. So I'm going to keep that on for now. Or I keep voice chat on just in case. And sometimes I actually forget. So yeah, this is a summoning episode. If you are wondering, I actually have co-oped once with this character. And in today's episode, I'm probably going to show off, well, it's a specific item that you get from co-oping. It's the token of fidelity. You need at least one to actually talk with the dude that you see right after fighting Old Dragon Slayer. And it's kind of crucial, or I would say important, to actually get at least one. Because he gives you literally unlimited bolt stones, which is good for faith builds, I would say. So if you can get at least one token of fidelity, you should be good for, especially if you're trying to get more bolt stones. You know, just rejoin the Covenant and shit, and it should be just easy as that. And yes, we got a recurrent. Remember that boss we fought? The weird lizard dude guy? Well, he's now an enemy. And, I'd say that's weird. Is in the original Dark Souls 2, he was somewhere. Okay. He was somewhere completely different. Like, he was later into the game, I guess. And, well, I mean, it really, truly depends on where you go. But he was later into the game. Which is also another thing about this game. And Scholar the First Sin, and the boss, actually the Lost Sinner, is weaker in this, version than it is in the original version. He actually has a lot, this boss actually has less, I think damage? I think the health pool is still the same, but this boss does less damage than, in the original version. And how do I know this? Well, I mean, I don't know. I think I played, the original Dark Souls 2 version a while back. I actually hooked up my PC, or not my PC, my PS3 again. To play Dark Souls 2. And I want to replay Dark Souls 1 for a few hours to get familiar with it, because of the remaster coming up. Which, when I have the money, I will be let's playing that game as well, because it may have not been my first Souls game, but it's still a Souls game nonetheless. And I remember having fond memories playing that game for the first time. Oh man, just rocking, what is it, the Knight's Starting Shield, which is pretty sad when you think about it. I didn't use any other shield for the game except the Knight's Starting Shield. I think was the Silver Kite Shield or whatever it was. It was like the shield that the Knight starts with in Dark Souls 1. I used that throughout the entire game. I didn't switch because I felt like it was a bit unnecessary. And I'm actually gonna go get Lucatiel, because at least on this character I'm doing Lucatiel's quest line. So that should be interesting. Also, just to make this boss a bit easier, I'm going to be lighting those torches. I'm pretty sure I have a flame butterfly. I did not. Here's around summon. Yes, summoning episode. Yeah. Oh, whatever. Lucatiel. That's nice. Okay. If this is your first time seeing Dark Souls 2, what are you watching? Like, seriously, you could find more quality Dark Souls 2 content on YouTube. But hey, whatever floats your boat, man. So now we got a 4-man squad rolling right now. I mean, in reality, this boss should be easier. Which it actually is, to be honest. Any boss with, like, when there's 4 people fighting one boss, it's always easy. I mean, yeah, the health is increased, but really, it's not that big of a health pool increase. And I think it's just... I don't think it's the health increase. I think it's just damage reduced or something like that. Don't quote me on that, though. So, let's see. I have nothing to buff this weapon. So, we are going to do this. I'm going to be silent for this cutscene. Oh, what a intro. Now, this is one of the 4 main bosses you'll have to fight when you first play this game to actually progress in the story. I mean, there's 2 ways you can progress through the story in this game. One is by actually beating the 4 main bosses, the Lost Sinner and 3 others that we'll find later in this Let's Play, or getting 1 million soul memory. That is actually a daunting task to do. I mean, you could simply do it by just co-oping, but eventually you would run out. The amount of people to co-op with would be thin at some point, which means you would have to start grinding. Enemies would start disappearing. You would rather just fight bosses and just endlessly grind, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, this Lost Sinner is cake. Technically, it is even by yourself. I just summon because it's fun. It gives... These people get free extra souls. It's really no skin off my back. And, I mean, for this episode, I don't know. But, I don't know. And boss is defeated. I mean, you could say this is the not true way of playing Dark Souls. I personally think whatever you find fun to play Dark Souls, even when it comes to co-op with a buddy or 2, you do you. Because that's how you're, I think, truly meant to play the game. If you, whatever you do you enjoy doing in this game, whether it be soloing or co-oping, that makes you think it's a true experience, you do you. I personally think it's a bit of both. I mean, yeah, co-op's fun, but eventually those friends might not even play anymore, and you'll have to do it solo. And eventually, this game will be single player only because the server shut down eventually. I mean, that happens to all games. So you'll have to play solo. But just playing solo, you're missing out on a lot of aspects that actually involve online. You do you, I guess. You can do offline. But my main point is, like, you got to do a little bit of both. If you don't, then it's just, I don't know. It's kind of boring. That's why I like the co-op aspect. Even I occasionally invade. I can say by the bottom of my heart that I'm not a pro invader whatsoever. But I enjoy invading in this game and co-oping because it's actually unique to this series. I don't think I've ever seen another game do where you can just break the back door of a person's world and come in and murder them in their own game. I don't know, I've never seen a game do that, and that's why I like the Dark Souls series. I mean, not just because of that, it's like, I don't know, it seems like it has some deep story to it. Now, when I first played all the games for the first time, I didn't read the story. I just played the game, and at face value, you could say the game's pretty good. Some could say not, but I enjoy the game. I enjoy the gameplay, I enjoy the heavy lore behind it. I mean... I've seen all kinds of videos discussing more. Vati Vidya, I think that's another big name, which I guess, I don't know. I guess there's a lot of controversy around him, because I guess he spouts quote-unquote false info. Which, okay, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so now we can one-hand this weapon. And I probably will be using this weapon. Oh, it's it's 50. Oh, whatever. It's more strength added to the damage. How's my twinkling tight doing actually? Only one. This weapon's at +1 right now, I believe. It's doing a load of damage. So yeah, I mean, I was the Lost Sinner in Sinner's Rise dealt with. Shit, I'm gonna have to use the soul. Sorry, Dragon Rider, you weren't actually the most creative bosses. So we're gonna be using this Cannon Father to actually, I don't know, progress. We're going to what I consider area 2 out of 4. What we went through right now is area 1 out of 4. Now, like I said, you could separate the 4 main bosses and the 4 big segments you have to go through. You could technically do them all out of order. I mean, yeah, it's linear later in the game, but you could do them all out of order. I mean, it's kind of a bad idea, because I feel like going through the Lost Force of the Fallen Giants is like, go there, you know, to kill a couple bosses, get familiar with the game. Then go to Hyde's Tower of Flame. You could probably skip Old Dragon Slayer. He's not really mandatory. He's been optional. And then you could you go through No Man's Wharf. You kill Flexile Sentry or a reused enemy, or a reused boss, pretty much. Then you could go through Lost Bastille, deal with Ruined Sentinels, then deal with the Lost Sinner, and that's area 1 out of 4. But you can also deal with the Belfry Gargoyles, which are completely optional, especially in this game. They were technically optional in the original. In the original, you got a key. After being Belfry Gargoyles. Well, not actually from them, but when you continue to press forward, you got a key to actually open up those doors on the side, and doors are in the area in Sinner's Rise. So you actually, if you wanted to make the boss easier, you had to kill another boss. In this version, he is completely optional. Like, you can skip him outright and not deal with him. It's all up to you whether or not you want to deal with this boss. And I personally just beat him because it's 3 extra souls and it's another boss. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. This area in particular, I would count it as area 1 out of 2, or 1 out of 4, or 2 out of 4. I mean, I feel like the next area you should go to. Probably actually wrong. The other areas that you can go to are probably much easier and much simpler to deal with. I don't know. But nonetheless, you know, I enjoy the Souls games. They've always been a game I enjoyed playing. Oh, jeez. I mean, you'll eventually get sick and tired of games you play all the time. I don't play these games all the time. I play something different. Actually, around January, I was playing a lot of Monster Hunter World. And I've fallen off... Jeez. I sort of fallen off the Monster Hunter World train. I mean, I played here and there, but not as much anymore. As soon as I got through the low rank, which, spoilers, by the way, if you haven't played it, I mean, it's interesting. It's a pretty good game. You could probably use a better weapon I chose. I went around with the greatsword, but I don't know. I feel like if you're a true Monster Hunter fan, you would pick up this game. I mean, I feel like it revived the series in some way and gave it a bigger light, or put it under a horoscope, or it made it where people actually, you know, saw this game on the radar and said, "Hey, this game looks pretty interesting. I'm gonna go get it." That's what a lot of people did. I mean, I got it. But I've been a fan for a while now. So we are currently in Huntsman's copse. And this is where a game starts to get, I don't know, maybe challenging. Challenging isn't the word I'm looking for. Enemies are a bit stronger. Always, some of them you run into. Now it's kind of debatable. Like you could, like I said, you could do these out of order if you wanted to. And that's fine by me. You do you. If you want to do this area last, you're more than welcome to. But I feel like this area is like, what is it? It's second easiest. It's harder than what is it? The Lost Sinners trek through. I mean, I'm pretty sure people have played this game and heard of this game. If you haven't, I guess some spoilers ahead. But the next area I would go to is like, what is it? Down to the gutter? Would that be the next area you go to? And, I don't know, I guess it shows. Then I would go to, forest area. I might not be remembering correctly. Also, where was that flame butterfly earlier? But, as I was saying, you could do these areas completely out of order. It doesn't really matter what you go for. But, I don't know. Player's choice. I mean, nothing's really been going on in my life. I don't know. I'm kind of glad I went back to Let's Playing this game, which I am right now. But one thing that I feel like that drags me back all the time is, I don't know. It's a hard game, but people, when they say, "Oh, it's the hardest game on the planet," I feel like that's misinformation. It's hard when you first play the game, but you see how I'm actually making this game look pretty easy. That's because I've had loads of experience under my belt when it comes to the Soul series, so I know a thing or two, especially about this one, because this is my most played. And I guess you could judge my opinions on the other Souls games. I mean, this isn't the type of topic I'm going to talk about on this Let's Play. Let's just say Dark Souls 2 is my favorite Souls game. And that's probably an unpopular opinion. Just like how I like Monster Rancher Evo. It actually might be my favorite Monster Rancher game. And that's probably an unpopular opinion in the Monster Rancher community. Because Evo, I've heard, is the worst of the Monster Rancher games. I could see why, but it's still a pretty good game on itself. Fucking wizard, come back here. Okay. I feel like some of these games get too much hate and shit. I feel like if Monster Rancher Evo was called something else, like it was like a spiritual Monster Rancher game or whatever, or it had the Monster Rancher elements. It was just called something else differently. I mean, I guess people would be fine with that. I don't know if that, maybe the situation would be worse. But I feel like if Dark Souls 2 was called something else and was just written off as a Souls clone, and I don't know, I guess it'd get a lot less hate. Because, hey, it's a good Souls clone. As some would say. I think this is a good Souls game. There's problems. Yeah, the Soul memory is pretty stupid. Pretty stupid idea. Sometimes the controls are a bit, like, I guess, too snappy, I guess. That's what I would put it. there's just a couple other factors. I guess ruin people's experiences with this game. And for better or worse, it's probably, I don't know, immersion breaker, as some would say. Oh, I enjoy this game. There's a reason I'm making an LP for it. And I feel like this game gets way too much hate. So, I actually missed Sublime Bone Dust. And here it is. I feel like you could miss this. And Soul Spear. Who could forget Soul Spear? The quote-unquote best spell in the game. I mean, it is. It does a lot of damage. But I feel like there's so much other spells you could find. Just to make this quick, I'm going to Homeward Bound. And we're back here. Alright, so, let's see. Now we're gonna go take on the skeleton lord bosses. One of the easier bosses in the game. Even with the update, this boss is still easier. It's actually much easier. In the original Dark Souls 2, if you played this game, there are skeleton wheels in this game, but they are nerfed. They don't do as much damage as you think they do in this game. But people thought, hey, four skeleton wheels was hard enough in the original Dark Souls 2, so they nerfed it to 2. There's only 2 skeleton wheels in this boss fight, and I feel like that just makes the boss too easy. The skeleton wheels, I mean, they are nerfed. They don't do a lot of damage, but there's not a lot of places you can get caught on. It's a pretty open-spaced boss fight. And everything. I don't know how it'd be hard to get caught on. But hey, you know, they removed 2 skeleton wheels. But there's only 2 of them. And that is kind of lame, to be honest. It ruined any challenge like that boss even offered. I mean, with the enemy randomizer that actually came out, I think, not too long ago. Those bosses are like fucking gauntlets of enemies. So I guess that's an improvement. So yeah, skeleton lords, one of the easier bosses, and all for the right reasons why it's an easy boss. Like, I'm two-shotting these dudes, as you can see. Like, it virtually two-shot them. But I'm being a complete idiot for some reason, and not hitting them. As you can see, that dude spawned 2 skeleton wheels. Like I said, in the original, it was actually 4? Yeah, it was 4, if I remember correctly. But it just made him... It makes this boss too easy. Like, they die in one hit from my, like, +1 Dragon Tooth. And that's pretty sad. I mean, most of these enemies die, but they're weaker than these average skelly boys. And that's pretty sad upon itself. Because I remember Dark Souls 1 being infamous for the skeleton wheel dudes. And they make a return, but they're not as tough as you'd think, like I said. Like, I think they do a lot less damage. Oh, I'm probably gonna die to one of the easier bosses in the game. Okay. I just lost points for that. Oh, man. God, I look so bad. I swear to God. Oh, man. Problems with using heavy weapons. I'm gonna summon this boy. Hopefully he actually pops up. Yep, this is a summoning episode. I will occasionally do these. It's in the coming back. Why not just start off with summoning randoms and giving them free souls? Because why not? Should be entertaining to do. It gets them free souls. So I don't know what they're complaining about. You know, before I actually started the Let's Play, I really wanted to do a co-op Let's Play with a friend. At least for the PS4 version. He doesn't have Scholar of the First Sin on PS4, so I can't play with him, which is pretty disappointing. I mean, I think the only way I could see us getting around that is I actually let him use my account to download Dark Souls 2 and make my account the main one. I think that would be the only way. You know, I'll see what I can do. Probably I'm gonna do it. I think after this, I might actually do a co-op Let's Play. Because trust me, co-oping for the entire game is completely different than actually soloing this game, as you can see. I feel like my only problem with this game is the soul memory. So, I don't know. I'm saying I don't know a lot because I really don't know what to say. See, like, I two-shot these dudes. And you call these dudes bosses? No, they ain't bosses. Alright. Yep, those are skeletons. Easiest bosses in the game. One of the easier ones. We haven't actually encountered the easiest boss. I mean, he's gonna kill him? Okay, no, we're not. If I can at least kill a couple of them before he actually starts... Okay, he already killed the other one. I feel like if you let them all pop in at once, it makes the boss a bit more difficult. Because then you got a horde to worry about. And if your weapon doesn't do a lot of damage, or it can't kill a big crowd quickly like I'm doing, then this boss is actually pretty difficult, I would say. Because these are skeletons. I don't think piercing weapons aren't going to do jack shit against them. And they're already dead. Thank you, sir, for your cooperation. Man, holy crap, how much foot soldier? I have 2 of these things already. Those are supposed to be rare drops. I already have 2 of them. Yeah, I guess that boss could be pretty difficult if you, first timer, and you kill all those big skeleton lords, and you spawn all these skeletons, especially in the original. Having 4 skeleton wheels is no joke. Even in, like, Dark Souls. I mean, 2 of them. In this, it's a joke now. It's why are they even here? You could have just added more skeleton hordes if you wanted to. You know, I mean, to each their own. Like I said, that boss could be difficult for your first time if you kill them all, and now you just got a big skeleton horde coming after you. And I actually did. I'm gonna be honest. That boss killed me at my first few tries. Because I truly thought that I had to kill them all at once, or something like that, or else like something bad would happen. So I just did, and that was probably the worst thing I could do. So after that, I'll kill one by one. I'll kill one, let them spawn the horde, destroy the horde, then do that for the next one. And that boss is actually pretty easy. I'm good doing bind spells. But yeah, I mean, that was the Skeleton Lord's boss. Nothing really special, it's just skeletons. Skeletons aren't the most interesting of things when it comes to enemy types. They're skeletons, you know, they're spooky, scary, and they send shivers down your spine. I mean, I think that's all they really do. Well, what are we looking at for time, actually? We're looking at pretty decent time. That's where I'm gonna end the episode, actually. Let me burn this before I do. No, not that. Let me burn this before I do. So, that will be episode 4 of Let's Play Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. I hope you actually enjoyed this episode, as you can tell, I'm a bit more talkative. I don't know. I guess I'm more talkative in this episode. I think I'm a bit louder, too, hopefully. But I'm actually glad to be returning to this Let's Play after how many months of not playing, of not continuing this LP. But yeah, I'll see you all later in the next video. Like, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye, everyone.